Hi guys, I am just joining now live to talk about healing abandonment. So feel free to come in whenever you feel called. And if you don't attend live, don't worry. Or if you can't stay for the whole thing, don't worry. I will be re-adding this onto my Instagram as well as my YouTube channel. So you can always catch the replay there. So first and foremost, hi, welcome. Today we're talking about healing abandonment. Now, you may be thinking, what is abandonment and do I have it? So let's dive right in. So abandonment is this overwhelming fear that as soon as you get something or someone in your life, you have to hold on to it, like so obsessively. And the reason we feel that is because maybe we had things that happened in our past that has caused us to have those abandonment wounds and abandonment issues. So something that may have happened that has caused you to feel that way about any situation or somebody, something. Maybe, you had a caregiver or a parent pass away when you were younger. Maybe you had someone that was not able to take care of you, like a neglectful caregiver. Maybe you had a parent just up and leave one day and no word, So those are just a few examples of how abandonment can start to form in your early years, but it doesn't mean that that's the only time that you can have abandonment. Like, you can have abandonment at any stage in your life. So you can even have abandonment as an adult. Maybe you didn't experience that as a child, and maybe, your significant other maybe just decided to leave one day. Maybe you got fired from your job after working there and being a loyal employee, and just randomly you were fired. Maybe, like you had, a bunch of money in your savings, and then all of a sudden you had to use all of your money. And now you have zero in your account, so you don't have that safety net. So those are different things and ways that may lead you to kind of start to develop these abandonment wounds. Now, there are different ways that this can show up in your life. So if you have unhealed abandonment wounds, take a look at, how you may be living your life. So maybe you enter a relationship and you're scared that that person's going to leave you. So you try to hold on to that relationship, or you become a people pleaser or something like that. Maybe you're afraid of losing your job. So you are overworking yourself and showing like, hey, I'm here, I'm the best. And you can't get rid of me because I work overtime and I do this all for free. So these are different ways that abandonment can show up in your current life. Now, different ways that we can show abandonment is through either people pleasing. Maybe you're a people pleaser and you will do anything and everything to make a person happy. And that includes, not valuing yourself, or you're valuing your boundaries. Maybe you overanalyze and overthink every situation. So it could be, relationships, friendships, family. Maybe, you're like, okay, they didn't text me back right away. Oh my God, did I do something? So maybe it could be a situation like that. Maybe it's the complete opposite, where you don't actually have any type of attachment. You're just like, I want to stay guarded in my four walls and I don't want to feel anything. Maybe, you have relationships like that, or, like you don't allow anyone to be in your circle. So those are just a few different ways that abandonment can take its toll. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory, and then I'm going to talk about different ways that you can heal and you can start healing today. And then I'm going to give you another story that can happen after you've healed. So here's a little backstory, and this may resonate with you or not, but I will give you a real life example of how abandonment moods affected me. So when I was younger, my father passed away unexpectedly. And after that, my mother was unable to take care of us full time. So not only did I have the abandonment of my father passing away, I also now have abandonment that my mother is not able to take care of us. So now I have 0 parents. So my brother and I, we had to live in multiple family members' homes, and sometimes it was okay, sometimes it was not okay. Sometimes it was physically and mentally abusive, and yeah, that's just to say the least. So with those abandonment issues that I had, like I felt like no one will ever love me. I am not worthy of love. Like I had parents, now I don't, even my parents couldn't stick around and love me. So that kind of went on with me into my adult years. That carried over in relationships. So in relationships, I was very much a chaser, if you will. I chased after love, thinking that was the only way that I would be able to have it, is if I chased after it. And what happens when you chase after something? They run. Imagine chasing after your toddler. They're gonna run because they think you're playing like tag or something. It's just that same type of concept. So when you chase something or someone obsessively, then it runs. So I had that mentality going into relationships. I had that same type of mentality when it came to my money. I would hold on to it so desperately, like, oh my gosh, I have to make this penny count. And mind you, I had a decent job. I, made money. I paid my bills. So I always was able to pay my bills, even if it was very slim. But I still had that, like, I have to hold on to it or it's going to go away. So that kind of went on with me into my adult years until I decided it was time to heal that. So maybe you witnessed some things like that happened in your life. A few other ways that abandonment can show up show itself is if, like you're a hoarder, or you, like, that's another thing, like you hold on to things so desperately, like you don't want to let things go. So like maybe you have a lot of clothes that have like sentimental value. You don't want to let it go. So it can show so many different ways. It could be over obsessive. You could be a people pleaser, or you could be the complete opposite and put your walls up and you're like, I don't want to feel anything. So, that's kind of like when I was telling you the story, my mom wasn't able to deal with raising us at that time. So she put her walls up, and that was her way of dealing with abandonment. Now, there's no right or wrong way to deal with abandonment. It happens. But there are different ways that you can heal abandonment. Now, a few things that you can start today to even bring awareness to the situation is to take a look at your life, whether it be, while you were a child or even your adult life, and see if anything has maybe shown up. Sorry, my light just went out. If anything has shown up in your life that maybe was taken away abruptly, whether it be, again, when you were a child or even in your adult years. Even a parent passing in your adult years could leave that abandonment wound as well, especially if you're really close to them and you had that constant and consistent person there, like almost like as your friend, like your confidant, you could reach out to them. So number one is to bring awareness to where this may have shown up in your life. So that's the first step. The second step is to notice how you deal with abandonment. And the story that I gave a little bit ago, I was a chaser. I was a people pleaser. And with that, it led me to have a very low self-worth, a low self-confidence, because I was always giving, because I didn't want somebody to run away from me. I didn't see the value within my own self. So that was the way that it showed up in my life. I was a chaser. I was almost like, I don't want to say a hoarder, but I held on to situations very tightly. So take a look and see how you are reacting in your situations. How do you react in your relationships? How do you react at your job or with money? How do you react in your friendships or with your family members? Now, when you're dealing with abandonment, maybe you hold on to toxic relationships and friendships and family members. Yeah, that could happen. Like you just, again, because you don't see your worth or your value, so you allow people to mistreat you. So just take a look. So that's the second step. So the first step, again, find where abandonment may have shown up in your life. The second step is to bring awareness to how you react to it. Now, the third step may just be about knowing your true value and your true worth. So say, for example, you're like, you know what? Maybe I do allow a little too many things to slide in relationships or with friendships. Maybe it's time that I put a little bit stronger boundaries. That's the third step, is to find out how you can move forward. Maybe it's as simple as asserting more boundaries or saying no to things that are not in alignment with you. But if you are struggling to heal yourself from, abandonment or moving forward, there are different ways that can help heal you if you're not able to bring awareness and do it yourself. There's always help. So there's so many different things that you can do and try. So you could do traditional talk therapy. That may work for some people, and that's maybe their cup of tea. You can try hypnotherapy. I've been actually trying and doing a lot of hypnosis and past life hypnosis lately, and it's been truly magical. I will say that. I love it. Third thing you could try, Reiki, of course. That's what I did to help heal my abandonment wounds and issues. I realized that I was open to trying anything and everything that was willing to get me to the next level of my life so that I could truly see my self-love and my value. With Reiki, I was able to break down the blockages and the barriers of what truly happened in the past. I was able to cope and to heal the trauma of the past. I was able to heal and bring awareness to my own abandonment story. And I was able to truly heal and release that by seeing the value within myself. So I was able to heal with Reiki. And then I used self-love coaching and self-love techniques to help reestablish the worth that was already within me, but that was so buried with those abandonment issues. So if you are looking to take it to the next level and heal and step into your power, you are invited to reach out to me, and either you could leave me a DM, leave me a comment. I'd be happy to give you more information on how Reiki and self-love coaching can help really help you move to the next stage in your life, heal those abandonment wounds, and truly attract what you deserve and you desire, and not from a place of scarcity or a place of need, but a place of purpose, passion, mission, and self-worth and self-confidence. Now, the next part I want to tell you is a funny story that has happened recently. And obviously I've been doing healing for quite some time. Now, when you heal, it doesn't mean that things are not going to trigger you again in the future. It just means that you now have the tools to help yourself overcome the trauma or overcome the triggers a lot more quickly. And you can actually notice them a lot quicker. So I'm going to tell you a funny story. So obviously I've done my years of healing and overcoming my abandonment. So I'm like, yeah, I thought I healed. I'm good, That's not always the case. So a while back, I was in a very, very short relationship that really triggered my abandonment wounds again. So it was kind of like a game of cat and mouse, and like when somebody wants to threaten to leave, just because not everything is up to their 100% standards. So when somebody is like, saying like, I don't want to have any type of conflict in my life, like I don't want to overcome or work through anything, and that's fine. You don't have to. But when you start threatening to leave someone or, abandon someone, then those triggers may pop up again. So when I entered the relationship, it was interesting because I immediately knew right away, like, oh, this is a lesson the universe is giving me. Like I need to, make sure that I've healed through this. So I didn't react in a way that I would have in the past. I didn't chase. I'm like, either you truly see my value and my worth, or this is not the relationship for me. So with that being said, that cycle, if I wasn't healed, that cycle would have gone on for years oh, it would have been such a toxic and crazy roller coaster of a relationship. But instead, within 3 short months, I was able to be like, no, thank you. This is not it for me. So I was able to recognize those patterns, and I wasn't triggered as much as I would have been in the past. Was I triggered a little? Yeah, of course, because we want to feel loved. We know we deserve to feel loved. So when somebody's not showing up and they're not in true alignment with you, then it might suck a little because you're investing a little bit of time. Now, trust me, I did not invest my life in this. I did invest. It was probably even shorter than 3 months, to be honest. But I realized very quickly, I'm like, I'm seeing a pattern here. Like, this is not the way. Like, you don't threaten to leave someone, just because you can. Like, that's not a healthy relationship. That's not healthy emotional intelligence. So with that being said, I was able to walk out of that, close that chapter. And I will tell you, as soon as I did that, miracles started manifesting in my life. It's kind of like, oh, you've passed your test. Now here's the reward. Now, amazing things that I cannot wait to share with you in the upcoming months have started happening. New opportunities have started happening. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you in a few months of all the really cool things, but I'm still working behind the scenes on them. So as soon as you're able to work through your triggers, it doesn't mean that something won't happen in the future. It just means that you have the tools to recognize it, like, oh, this is not okay with me, and be able to walk away from what doesn't serve you. So I am going to say that I am happy that experience came into my life, because it did allow me to reevaluate and look at myself and say, God, man, I know my worth. Like, this is not worth my time or my energy. Like, I vibrate at a high frequency. This is this is toxic. I'm not dealing with that. So it was a lot easier for me to walk away. And again, like I mentioned, as soon as I did, miracles started pouring into my life and crazy things started happening. So, sometimes people do block your energy, especially if they're toxic. So, as soon as you're able to recognize what's triggering you and how to move forward, then you can start manifesting these amazing things in your life. Now, I'm just going to go through the comments and see if there's any questions or anything. Hi, beautiful. I don't know if you're still on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It is really awesome when you start to heal these wounds. But if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, this is going to be on replay if you have not had a chance to watch the whole thing from start to finish. But healing abandonment is a journey, yes. And not everybody's journey is going to look the same. Sometimes it takes a little while. I had to unpack years and years and years. And yeah, I'm a stubborn person. I'm a Capricorn. So it did take me a little bit longer than I would have liked. But look at me now. Like, I'm here now, and I am able to work through things, and my triggers they don't hold me back anymore. I actually kind of laugh, and I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, universe. But I like the lessons of life. I learn a lot from them. But I'm just really excited for this next chapter in my life. And if you are struggling with abandonment, or you need help recognizing the patterns in your life, please reach out to me. I'm happy to give you all the information that you need, some things that might help, and bring you on to the next level. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this live. Again, catch the replay if you didn't get a chance to catch the whole thing. I appreciate you and your time and your energy, and I will see you soon.